Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the INT Broly and Paragus unit and just how good they are at 100% in the hidden potential system. So this is Paragus and Broly, Troublesome father and son, an extreme INT type character of key plus 3 HP attack and defense of 130%. They raise their defense permanently on their super attack, whilst lowering enemy attack. They have attack and defense of 150% and a high chance of launching additional super attack when performing a super attack. They have reduced damage received by 26% within the same turn with each super attack performed. Pure Sands or Joined Forces category allies have key plus 3 and attack and defense of 50%. Then they have key plus 3 and an additional 180% attack and a high chance of launching an additional super attack when there's a Pure Saiyans or Superheroes category enemy. So this is very interesting. What's so cool about these guys is outside of situations where they are faced with AoE attacks, which will cause them some problems, their defense and the way their passive works, if you build them full additional, they can very easily have 78% damage reduction with relative ease. Sand Warrior Race, Sand Lineage, Hardened Grudge, Cold Judgment, Brutal Beatdown, Prepare for Battle, and Fierce Battle are their link sets. I will say, for me, I think their best build is probably Additional and Evasion. I think if I were to build them, I would want to build them as just a support. Additional is actually very important for them because it allows them to have their main attack, their secondary follow-up attack, and then also their third super, and then also a fourth potential super. So that means that even when not facing a Pure Saiyans or Superheroes enemy, you can still have 78% damage reduction quite easily, or with a good chance. And if you are facing a Pure Saiyans or Super Saiyans, then you can basically have maximum damage reduction. So I think that's very, very important. Other than that, to be honest with you, I think all of it actually works out really, really well. I think they look really good. 50% support for Pure Saiyans is huge. It's a category or a group of units that desperately need a support, and to have a 200% support is very big for that category. Their biggest hindrance is that they just do not have a lot of categories. They're not even on movie bosses, which is, I don't know, kind of weird. Considering Broly is, but I guess it's because it's Paragus and Broly. Although you would assume Paragus is also like a movie boss. But so the thing is that's probably their biggest shame. They just are not on movie bosses. So integrating them on the super bosses or movie bosses team is not possible. And I think for me that's probably the thing I find the most detrimental to them. I think if they could just be on those two categories, you would have an amazing unit. They don't start out super high with defense. They start at like 100k. But the thing is, you know, realistically speaking, they stack defense at a pretty high rate, especially with how much super attack like power they get. You know, 1 super attack, 2 super attack, 3 super attack. So I think that's all super important. On top of that as well, for me, outside of that, the damage reduction plays a huge role. So having 2 sets of damage reduction is pretty good for them, 52%. Having 3 sets is incredibly good, 78%, makes them akin to like God Goku basically. And then of course, if they get 4, they basically can't take damage, which is a very interesting concept, I guess, for a unit. So yeah, but ultimately I think for me they do look really, really good. And to be honest with you, I am super duper helpful. I think they're super duper helpful. Not I am, but I think they are super duper helpful for the teams that they can facilitate. I just think the lack of categories for them is the biggest shame, because incorporating them into teams is so intensely difficult. It is just so hard to incorporate them into teams properly. And I think that's probably where I would say I'm like the most, I want to say disappointed. It's just they lack categories. I think ultimately, for me, I'd probably say they are amazing. Elsewise, I think they're really, really good. And I think they do everything you want a unit to do. Outside of AoE attack situations, they also are generally quite fine. And even then, if they can just build up their attacks, I think ultimately, they'll look really, really good. Link-wise, they've got an okay link set. Prepared for battle, same warrior race, same lineage, fierce battle are all very common, very good links. Cold Judgment's not bad either. And it is probably one you want to focus, but I wouldn't say they need it. Yes, of course, it makes a considerable difference. But it isn't something I think is mandatory, as Saiyans don't traditionally have it very high. Hardened Grudge is probably the hardest one to get. It is a very, very exclusive link. And then Brutal Beatdown is just kind of okay. I think overall I'd have to say that to judge them as a unit, they look really good. I think they are a little bit limited, but I think that's it. I think ultimately they look great, they look solid, they look fantastic. They do exactly what you want them to do. They function exactly how you want them to function. And I think for me, I'm super duper happy with them. So yeah, that's it from me. Bye.